Hello, I heard you've been having issues with your whippersnapper. So today I'll be using my mate Morrison here to demonstrate how you can troubleshoot some of these issues. This is a model 553347 or BC260ERX. So the common issues that happen with a whippersnapper. First of all, we'll start with lines being stuck in the spool in the head here. So a lot of people tell me, well, look, I just hate those things. The lines just keep getting in and in and in, and every time I have to open it and get it out. What's happening here is because you're letting it go too short, and you get short to a point where this just goes inside. To avoid that, you need to listen to your whippersnapper. So if it's a different one that you've been using compared to the one you normally use, you probably need to take off your earmuffs and listen to how it goes. But usually if you can just feel how these are going as well. You can feel the vibration, you know when it's running. It has that whistling sound when it's going through the air. And when it's short, you can also hear your machine running faster and faster. If you also feel like it's too long and it's slowing down your machine and your machine is rumbling, you probably need to do it up a little bit. And if you want to release it, you don't need to do this all the time, but if you want to release it, you can just, if it's running, you can just push this against the ground and then this will unwind itself. Most of the whippersnappers that are in the shops today come with this technology. It's got a spring in the middle, you push on the spring and it's rotating, it will come out. You can do it manually as well if you feel like you need to adjust it that way, by just pushing on the middle here and just pulling on this. Alright, just to show you how different they can be, this is a Honda one that I have in reserve, among other ones. On this one, you can see how you have the middle one here with Bob. This Honda one here has a red plate, and this red plate twists against the main body. It's the same thing. You push in the middle. On this one, instead of this plate here being the only thing that moves, you have this whole one on the Honda, the red one here, that when you push against it, it releases this line. Pretty simple. Also make sure the spool you're buying, if you're buying a spare one, actually fits with the head here, because they're all different. I learned that the hard way. Now, whippersnapper lines. This here is a 2.4 mil line. I'm using a full bore 1.4 mil. It says tri-blend compound for less breakage and longer life. So I mainly choose this because if you look at it closely, it has something in the middle that makes it less likely. I mean, that helps it not to wear so fast. So if these are wearing too fast and you are changing your lines very often, then you probably need something thicker, or something that's, you know, you see some of them, they have how do you say, metal cables in the middle. This one has a I haven't looked closely, but I think this might have something like that, if that's what they mean by tri-blend. It also has this squarish sort of feel to it. These are very effective when you are whippersnapping in areas that are mainly concreted. Grass areas, your thin ones will do, but once you start moving through thick bushes and concreted areas, I recommend something like this. Now, this is a 2.4, but they range between 1.5 to 2.6, I think, if I remember. I'll make a correction if that's wrong, but those are mainly for light to medium duty jobs. So if you're just cutting a hole, but yes, 2.4 mil, very common to use. So why am I mentioning this? Sometimes you have people using very thin lines because they are cheaper, which makes sense. If it's cheap, you use it. But if you put a 1.5 mil or whatever in this, there's a duct here that this comes through, the line here. These all come through these ducts, and there's also a hole in the middle somewhere. We're gonna end up with a very long video if I have to open this up and show it to you. Probably at some point I will. But when those when this is too thin for that duct and you start tapping the head when you want to unwind it, when you're using it with a very thin line, it's gonna come out very fast. And when that happens, it even happens with these if you overdo it, right? You tap, you think it's not coming out, and then it comes out. It ends up wrapping itself around the head here. And depending on how far it's gone, it can be a pain to remove. And sometimes you may have to open the head of the spool, open the spool to undo it. I mean, opening it is pretty straightforward. I don't recommend it, especially for new ones, because the more you open and close it, the more it will start to wear, and you don't want these wearing all the time. See, that's why you open this one, and it's made to rotate at very high speed and stay intact. So just keep that in mind. But they've made it easy for you as well if you want to open it, to go ahead and do that. Now, the third one, yes, you have people using the whippersnappers, and then all of a sudden it stops. Maybe you've been, the fuel tank has been hanging in a certain way. Maybe you prefer to cut in one way. We all cut differently. I myself am lefty, so I like to use just on this side here when I'm cutting, and sometimes here when I'm just moving with this edge. But when I'm moving with the left edge on my left facing, I like to walk backwards. Not everyone does that. Not everyone likes to do that. You know, some you'll find the way another person uses a whippersnapper daunting compared to the way you use it. So anyway, I'm saying that because depending on how you are holding your whippersnapper, you see this plumbing here, fuel lines. You also have a fuel filter in here. So the thing is, you start to have gravity working against fuel going into your engine to combust. Because of that, sometimes you start hearing rumblings and the thing slowing down, and you start asking yourself, what's the problem here? The problem is simple. Say if you've been holding it like this, especially when you start running low, like midway to 1/3 or a quarter, you start having that issue because you see this. And when I'm working sideways, this is what we have. So if it gets lower than this, you're gonna have an issue with fuel moving there. So what I do, a simple fix, is just to refill this, top it up, easy. If you find yourself in a situation where you don't want to top it up, or you don't have fuel by you and you're probably finishing what you're doing anyway, I would recommend just how do you say, if you're holding it like this, find the position when you're cutting to just make sure that goes there. So if you can twist it around and you can find a way to keep doing your work, then that will get you going. When it happens at first, I just shake it, give it a shake before I twist it. You can, and then I just press the throttle and it will just keep going. That's it. Okay. Sometimes you find it hard for your whippersnapper to start, and when this happens, you either check your spark plug, but usually before that, a very simple way for me to do it, especially if the machine has been sitting for long, this doesn't just go for whippersnappers, but for your hedge trimmers and other equipment as well. This is a Boston throttle body and Carbie cleaner. I just open this up. This is the air intake. When you open this, you have an air filter here and a little hole. So that hole there, if you can just open it for a bit and spray this in, it will help you get started. It has things that make ignition easier. I'll link this under the video. It has things that make combustion easier, as well as you know, if used to properly clean your engine parts, I mean, it can help you clean the throttle body and other things as well. But this is an easy way to just get your thing going. You know, I normally move from that to checking the spark plug, but if it goes beyond that, you probably may want to have a look at your engine and other things, fuel line, and but that's not the purpose of this video. This is just to get you up and running. Yes, with that, I also have another thing here that I have started using. This has nothing to do with whippersnappers, but it's just a pro tip that if you use things with metal parts, small garden machines like hedge trimmers, chainsaws and stuff, you may want to use this, because in the long run it really helps you protect those metal parts, especially when you have rainy days where you have things getting wet, and then in a day or so you check your tools, you have rust on them. Just use this, or a WD-40, right? But this is just a better version of that. I'll link this in the bio as well. I'm not sponsored by these guys, I'm just showing you what's good, and I happen to find the Boston brand very cost effective, I would say, because we're running a business here, mate. Well, stay safe. That's all for now, and say goodbye to my mate Bob. Say bye, Bob. Peace.